So before you rush out and hire a lawyer, you should really ask yourself a few questions. Do they have the experience solving problems like yours? It's one thing for an attorney to be an attorney, right? Because we get our license and we can practice law, and we essentially can practice any area of law that we want to practice. However, in situations where you're dealing with a specialized area of law, it's going to be really important that you hire someone who has experience or expertise in your particular area of law. You don't want to hire someone who is an expert in handling traffic tickets to handle your felony matter, right? And you don't want to have someone who is used to just doing maybe business contract law handling your child custody, child support, or your divorce matter if they are not experienced in this area, because these are all very specialized areas of law and they have their own rules, sets of procedure, and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that whatever lawyer you hire is one who is experienced in whatever it is that you need. Are they relatable? Are they empathetic, or do they otherwise have personality traits that are important to you? There are few things that will be more frustrating than trying to deal with an attorney who does not understand what you're going through, who doesn't care what you're going through, who is not sensitive to the heightened emotions that you're experiencing or how important your particular case is to you. So you want to make sure that because this person is someone you'll have to deal with consistently, communicate with consistently, ask for advice, and who is going to be advocating on your behalf, you want to make sure that your personalities are in alignment and you'll be able to tolerate that, and vice versa, because if not, it can lead to disaster in the long run. Do you trust them? Do you trust them to advise you? Do you trust them to advise you even when their advice is not what you want to hear? Because oftentimes you might have to hear something that is going to be in your best legal interest, and you may not always be completely on board or understand it or in agreement with it. And the attorney that you hire to represent you and look out for your interests and advise you needs to be someone that you trust, because otherwise, if you don't trust their advice, you're not going to take it. And if you don't take it and it's something that you needed to follow or do, that can be extremely problematic down the line. So you need to make sure that whoever it is you are hiring to represent your interests, you trust that every move that they make, that every piece of advice that they're going to give you, and that everything that they tell you and the way that they advocate for you is going to be in your best interest, and that they are really on your team. Because if there is no trust, there's no effective representation. And don't hire a lawyer solely based on their price. We all know that in many cases you get what you pay for, and it's important that you consider all of the other factors that I talked about, what their experience and expertise is, what their personality is like, and whether you actually trust them before you move on to weighing your decision based on what their price is. I would weigh the other factors first and then consider the price factor. And remember that if you are just looking for something cheap, right, and you are hiring someone to handle what is going to be one of the most trying, difficult, important times of your life, it is important that they meet all of the components that are necessary in order for them to represent you effectively, and for you to also be able to move through the process with a peace of mind and hopefully get what you want.